Hello my friends, and welcome back. In today's live programming video, we'll be doing some work on Komorebi, the tiling window manager for Windows, which is written using the Rust programming language. In the last video, I got pretty stuck. I got stuck pretty good. So what I had started working on was following this thread from my new friend EB Null. EB Null shared a gist that tried to, explain the API path of getting all the stuff you need to make something that they called the logical monitor identity. And I was out of my element completely. It was very difficult, and I pretty much gave up at the end. I went back to the docs. It's always a lot easier to read the docs when you don't have like 175% magnification on the DPI. So I read through the docs and I was able to get some clarity on a couple of things, and I made some progress. So I'm going to share that with you today, and we're going to continue iterating on that and seeing if we can find a better way for users to identify their monitors and assign them to a specific index in the monitor ring data structure, so that whenever a monitor is connected and recognized on the virtual canvas that the tiling window manager operates on, it's always in the right position. So let's bring this over to the middle. You know what? Perhaps it'll be easier to do a git diff. Cool. So we added two things. Well, this is something I did offline as I was trying to figure it out, but what got added here was a device and a device ID. These are both optional strings added on the monitor struct, and we give them default values of none. Then in the Windows API crate, I did some Clippy fixes. Clippy was yelling at me, and we added some stuff here. So you know what? Let's hold that. Let's go to before I get too deep into it. I do want to reference the docs so that those of you watching can contextualize this. So enum display devices. This is where the magic was happening. So I took a closer look at the remarks, and then I finally understood that I was not using this method correctly. It says to query all display devices in the current session, call this function in a loop starting with idevnum set to 0 and increment until the function fails. To select all display devices in the desktop, use only the display devices that have display device attached to desktop set in the struct. To get information, this is the important part, to get information on the display adapter, call enum display devices with LP device set to null. And then to get information on a display monitor, right? So one is the display adapter, one is the display monitor, and we want that monitor information. So to obtain information on a display monitor, first call enum display devices with it set to null, right? That's what we're doing here. Then call it again with LP device set to device name, and you get that from the first call. And also make sure you set idevnum to 0. Yeah, pretty cool, right? So let's maybe we don't need to do this through the diff, but we can come up on here. So when loading the monitor information, now what we're doing is we're making a call, right? And we're trying to call it with an index that we're just iterating over the monitors that we just found using the enum display monitors method. And okay, we say we'll try this from an index, and if we get something, a display device D, then let's try and pass this name. If the name matches the monitor name, of course. Let's pass that to a second call where we set the index to 0, which is here, idevnum set to 0, and we give it the device name, right? Cool. So far, so cool. And then if that works, then we actually have some information. We have some information on the ID. So why don't we, so maybe we can debug these out. So we can have device name, and here as well. So we'll do ID name, and here we'll do name. So according to the docs, these two should be different. Difference? They should be different. They should be different. So from the first call, so I believe what this is saying, that the device name, the device string should be different depending on the first and the second call, right? So let's see if we can validate that. If we can't, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of curious. I want to see, you know. So this is gonna be debug stir. Oh, I just broke a bunch of things. Not cool. Okay, device name. Okay, and we'll call this one stir. Device string. I can debug stir here. And I can do the same thing here. We're going to debug device string once we have made it a human readable string, right? So Komorebi C stop, Cargo run, and let's see. Well, that wasn't clever. What did... Oh, right. Let's take references to both of these. So the first time, the device stir is my graphics card, the NVIDIA. The ID is this big old thing, but it is the Acer monitor. Cool, and it's got some other stuff to help semi-uniquely identify it. Fair enough. And then we have the stir down here in the second part, where it identifies it as generic PNP monitor, right? And that's not particularly useful, but you know, it's what we get. And then when we run this a second time, again, we get the ID. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh wait, no. So we're running this a second time in the loop. So the first time we run it on stir, we get information from, where is it? Device string. This is the display adapter. Second time, this is now the Dell monitor that I have on my side here. And then the second time, we run enum display devices. Device string here is giving us generic PNP monitor. So, you know, we're at a pretty good spot right now. and I'll show you why. Let's get rid of this and this, all the stuff we added, right? So let's ditch that. Sweet. And let's do Komorebi C state and have a look. So now we have like this ephemeral name that is given by the system. We have the device. And so here, this is my Acer ultra-wide monitor. Here is my Dell monitor. And then the device ID, as best as I can tell, is, well, I constructed this, right? So I wonder, actually, can I go back enough here? So it's constructed from this, right? So it's like this stuff, then display, and then I'm splitting by this hashtag, right? So I'm saying that this bit is the, I'm taking this as the display here, and then the device ID is this plus this next bit. And the way I'm thinking about this is, if you have two of like the same Acer monitors or two of the same Dell monitors, you're not really going to be able to say, I want this device, if they both have the same name, to be in this position. But I believe that this identifies a what do you call it, a port, like a HDMI port, a display port, just like a different input, right? So that if you input this device into this port on the graphics card or on the motherboard, if you have onboard CPU powered graphics, then it's always going to be this, or it's always going to be this. And you can use that to hopefully say, I want this device ID to always be in position 1 and this device ID to always be in position 0. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. I haven't actually restarted, so this might be completely wrong. I might have to go further down the rabbit hole, but I believe this is a pretty good start. And it's definitely a lot further along in the process than I was in the last video. So now that I have all of this, we can take a look at, what can we take a look at? We can take a look at how we configure monitor index preferences. So monitor index preferences are a hash map of view size to rect. So why don't we set another one? Set display index preferences. Display index preferences. And this can be a hash map of view size to string. And I mean, we can track this in a global to start, just to see how we want to go about propagating this. So let's say we have our mutex display index preferences. Cool, we got that. We need to update self here. We're gonna have display index preferences from display index preferences. We'll clone that hash map. Okay, I think that's looking all right. Let's get bacon running on the side. And let's see what else we do with display index, with monitor. So we just want to index ref. We want to just kind of, wherever we're doing something with monitor index preferences, we want to do the same with display. So we're dealing with that and apply globals. So if let's display index preferences, change this here, display index preferences, and we're just going to replace it. Cool, I think that is everything. So now we need to look for the usages of this. So we use it in main, which is where we declare it. We use it in process command. We use it in static config, and we use it in window manager and Windows callbacks. So let's maybe start with Windows callbacks. So we try to create a monitor. And then, depending on the index preference, we try to insert it in a specific position. So at this point, if we use the Windows API monitor, that gives us a monitor. But, however, we do need to be able to this is going to be a little bit messy. But we'll see what we can do. So we need to figure out which iteration this is on as we enumerate through the display monitors. So if we get to here, this means this is a brand new monitor that we don't know about. So monitors.len or elements.len equals current monitor len. Cool. And we gotta shift all of this, right? So let me think about this. So the length is going to be the next one. So we'll do current monitor index. That's the current length. We do length -1. +1 is going to be the next. Okay, so we stick with length. And so let's do like this. we're gonna do Windows API. This is gonna be actually next index. We can't do try from, so we're gonna have to just do a simple cast. Actually, let's call this current index because it's the current iteration. Okay. We actually need to move all of this inside here. Gonna be m.name. Then we're gonna call Windows API. We're gonna do m. Make this mutable, hopefully. Yes, that's looking alright. So then all of this can go because we've pushed that up into the callback. Redundant clone, awesome. Redundant clone. Forget about that. Okay, so we have the monitor, then we enrich the monitor, hopefully with the device and the device ID. So far, so good. And then the index preference is always going to be an integer. So we'll say that the display index preferences, like if for some reason somebody mistakenly has both of these, we'll always give priority to the display index preferences. That backwards compatibility, my friends. And then we're gonna just loop through these display index preferences. And this is gonna be device. So if m.device right. Okay, if let's device equals m.device, then if device equals monitor we'll call this device, we'll call this known device. If device equals known device, then we can update the index preference accordingly. Nice. And then the rest of that is there, right? The rest of that logic is there. Pretty cool, I would say. I would say that is pretty cool. Now I'm not sure I want to add a CLI command for this. Like, slowly but surely we're gonna phase out a lot of that. Oh, but we always have parity. We always have parity, and it's nice to have so much All right, we're gonna add it. Don't worry, we are gonna add it. So index preference, and here we're gonna have, instead we're gonna have display index preference, and that just needs a usize and a string. Come on over to Komorebi C index preference. We can do the args preferred. Right, let's rename first. Preferred display index. Oh, it's still monitor. Display name as given in Komorebi C state. Display is identified in Komorebi C state. Display, and that will be a string. Cool. There we go. And then we can do display index preference. Same thing here, set the display index preference for a monitor identified using its display name. Cool. Now we head down to the implementation. So that is going to be subcommand display index preference. We're going to send the socket message display index preference, and this one here is going to be arg.display. Get rid of those args that are not necessary there, or not even recognized there. Actually, they're not even recognized. And now the last thing we have to do is just make sure that once we receive that socket message, that it is handled in some way or other. Which we do here in process command. Display index preference. This is going to be display. I think we need to take a ref here. It's going to be display. If it catches up, it will be display index preferences. And we'll rename this. Man, the renaming is not as fast as it should be. And then here we will have display clone. How about that? Damn, pretty nice. Pretty cool. Gosh, feeling pretty good about this. Feeling all right. So let's head back to the callbacks. We could not do the try from. I don't really want to throw from here if I can't do that. So let's do a clippy allow. Cast possible truncation, I believe it is. Sweet, that's done. All right, moment of truth. Let's build this baby. Cargo run. And so everything now should still come through in the state. Yeah, so we pushed all of that logic. Yeah, we pushed all that logic up into the callback of enum display monitor, which is awesome. A little bit daunting probably for people looking at it for the first time, but nevertheless awesome. Cool. I like that. So let's do just install Komorebi C. Oh. Huh? What did I change that to? Just install target Komorebi C. And let's see if our actual command comes through. Why don't we Komorebi C state and pick that out of here. So we can say we always want this to be at index 0. We'll try it imperatively first with the CLI. Believe it should be reflected in the state, not 100% sure. Cool. Komorebi C display index preference. Nice. Let's just stringify that. Okay. And let's try and explore this with FX. Okay, I have monitor index preferences, but oh, I didn't do it. I didn't pass it through. So let's go back and do that. So we will expand our state struct. So the state is typically built from the window manager struct, but it also pulls in some of these globals, right? So display index preferences, we'll take a snapshot clone of that, and let's do that here. And that is a hash map of usize to string. Okay. Run it again. I probably should have removed it from my config, the old one. Never mind. So we've added that. Let's explore the state. Yeah, display index preferences. Hell yeah. Awesome. So I'm gonna wanna remove this, right? And stick to this. This is so much nicer. I believe though there's one area that we neglected to update, which is in the window mat. Oh, maybe I didn't neglect. Maybe I falsely accused myself of neglect. So we use it in process command. I know why we use it here, right? That's why we use it there. In static config, we went through that. In window manager, we use it there. Okay, no, I think we're good. I think we're done. Just pumped. And while that is happening, why don't I config. Then something is up with this new PowerShell. Album. Yeah, I gotta do it like that. Okay. Backslashes on Windows. Never ever gonna get used to them. So this is mine, and here we're gonna change this to Komorebi C state. Let's just grab those. Grab device. Great. So we want this one to be at index 0. How can I do this? And we want 1 to be You know what? I have an idea. Potentially a very stupid idea, but an idea. Okay, so my idea is this. Wouldn't it be cool if you could take both this and this object and this and this string? But I remember that's what I hate a lot about APIs written in JavaScript and in Python, where you can just pass anything. It wouldn't be just passing anything. Obviously, we would wrap it in an enum where this can take either this or that. Let's keep it separate. It's going to be more trouble than it's worth. People are going to get confused. And this is already confusing enough. So we ditch this. We change this to display index preferences. And we try... Ooh, trailing comma. That's not good. Trailing commas. Sweet. Okay, that got reloaded properly. Now we're running. Let's explore this state. Alright, monitor index preferences are empty, and we have our display index preferences. My friends, I think this is incredibly super duper freaking cool. This is super cool. I'm very, very happy with this. This is a very pleasant change in vibes from the last video where I felt absolutely useless and stupid. Now I feel relatively competent. And it's always nice to feel relatively competent. Alright, cool. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. You know? I'll come up with a commit message offline. I do want to restart my computer and make sure that these identifiers persist across reboots. I think that, you know, the identifiers will only change if you're plugging into different ports. I don't think I want to go the whole 9 yards and support, you know, getting the full ED ID and, you know, figuring all of that out. So that whenever you plug in a specific display, regardless of which port you plug it into, it'll figure it all out. I don't think I'm going to go that far, at least not right now. Maybe in the future I'll have a use case for it, but, you know, for me, even the previous one was working perfectly. But this is nicer, and I thought, why not? It was very kind of EB Null to share the knowledge. I thought it'd be an interesting thing to implement, and it was. Alright, so why don't we wrap up as we often do. You know, I'm not on the plane anymore. I gotta take this off. How do I clear stats? Clear stats. Status has been cleared. You saw it here first, folks. The status was cleared. So let's give a shout out to each and every one of these lovely, lovely sponsors. Is this person, that person, is that person? No, that person is not private. Oh, that person is private. So now I have 3 private sponsors. I will blank that first one out, but private sponsors 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you, of course, also to EFL1P, Solomon, Julian, Evan, Maxwell, Red Lobster, Darian, Leandro, Alex, Kwang, Surefire, Michael, Pavel, and Hisayuki. My friends, you are all amazing. Thank you so much, so much, so much for your ongoing support. It means the world to me. Really, really appreciate it. And I will keep coming back, and I'll keep giving y'all shout outs because I can't even believe how big this project has become, how central it's become to the workflows of thousands of people across the world. And it means a lot that all the current sponsors, all the past sponsors have found it valuable enough to sponsor the continuation of the development. And it's amazing. Thank you. Just want to say thank you all the time. Thank you, because gratitude is a good practice. If you too would like to practice a little gratitude in the form of becoming a sponsor, you can come over to the sponsor page, be a one-time sponsor, be a monthly sponsor. There's no, I guess there is a minimum. The minimum is $1 a month, but even $1 a month, it means a great, great deal to me. If, however, you are not in a position to become a sponsor, the very, very next best thing that you can do is hit subscribe on the YouTube channel where you are probably watching this video right now. We finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. How cool is that? I never imagined that this channel would get even 100 subscribers when I started, so this is insane. This is crazy. It's like the best Christmas present that I could have hoped for. Amazing. Thank you all so much. Tips are now possible on individual videos, so if you want to leave a tip, you can do it like that. I will set up YouTube memberships at some point. Haven't set them up yet. The next milestone is in, I think, 600 or 700 more watch hours. I will start getting ad revenue from, I get a lot of ads on all of these videos right now, especially the Komorebi videos, especially the NixOS videos. It's just ads playing all the time. I don't get a cut of that, even though I'm over 1,000 until I meet the 4,000 watch hour minimum. And I think that's going to be pretty soon. So you can always subscribe. You should always subscribe. Let's get that out of the way. But if you find the videos relaxing, a lot of people have commented saying that they find the videos relaxing while they're doing other stuff, while they themselves are programming. Give it a try. Play them in the background. Listen to me just kind of thinking through problems calmly. The chill vibes, the good music, and see how it goes. Maybe it's not for you. It doesn't matter. But as long as you're subscribed, that's already a huge, huge thing. That is it, my friends. That is it for today. Not it in general, that is just it for today. I hope that whatever you all do today, you have a great, great day. Free Palestine, and I'll see you all back here next time.